Peace is a commodity I can't afford. But sometimes I try to window shop. Tonight, it was at a 24-hour diner that smelled of stale coffee and fried regret. The kind of place where the grime on the windows filtered the city's neon glare into something almost artistic. I was nursing a cup of black coffee, the real, stable kind this time, watching a news report flicker on a wall-mounted screen. The talking head was babbling about sonic architecture, a new fad where buildings were designed to create specific emotional responses through ambient frequencies. Another solution looking for a problem. My fork was halfway to a plate of lukewarm fries when the secure comm in my pocket vibrated with a familiar, unwelcome urgency. A dedicated line. Not the precinct, but someone with enough money to buy their own direct path to my dinner. I answered. The name on the display read Director Alastair Finch, Civic Arts Council, a heavyweight. Detective Kaito. Finch's voice was smooth, cultured, but stretched thin over a core of panic. I apologize for the intrusion. We have a tragedy. Eris Thorne is dead. The name landed on the greasy air of the diner like a lead weight. Eris Thorne, the city's resident mad genius of music. An avant-garde composer who didn't write songs, but sculpted soundscapes. His concerts were notorious, often leaving audiences feeling either transcendent or physically ill. I'm a homicide detective, Director, I said, pushing the plate away. Natural causes are out of my jurisdiction. There is nothing natural. Finch's voice dropped. He was found in his studio, a perfect, sealed room. The coroner is baffled. Please, Kaito, the mayor himself requested you. The mayor? That meant pressure, paperwork, and a parade of people who cared more about headlines than the truth. I paid for my fries, leaving the coffee as a silent tribute to my interrupted peace. I'm on my way. Eris Thorne's studio was located in the heart of the Onyx District, a monolith of black chrome and sound-dampening composites. It looked less like a building and more like a frozen block of silence. Director Finch, a tall, slender man in a suit that cost more than my car, was waiting outside, his face a mask of controlled grief. The studio is a marvel of engineering, Detective, he explained as we walked through a series of antechambers designed to bleed sound. It's a fully suspended anechoic chamber, the quietest man-made place on the planet. The walls absorb 99.99% of all acoustic waves. The final door was a meter-thick slab of specialized polymers. The log was displayed on a panel next to it. No entries or exits for the last 14 hours. A perfect, hermetically sealed room. Inside, the silence was a physical presence. It pressed in on you, a heavy, suffocating blanket. The walls were covered in dark foam wedges, angled to trap and kill any stray sound. In the center of this temple of quiet sat Eris Thorne. He was slumped over a massive state-of-the-art mixing board, a constellation of unlit buttons and dark screens. He looked peaceful, almost asleep, were it not for the unnatural stillness of his posture. The city's best medical examiner, a woman I knew only as Dr. Evans, stood by. "Find anything, Doc?" I asked, my own voice sounding alien and intrusive in the crushing silence. "Nothing," she said, her frustration clear. "No toxins, no injections, no signs of trauma. No cardiac arrest, no stroke. Vitals just stopped. It's as if his brain forgot how to send signals. The official cause of death for now is catastrophic neural failure. But what caused it? I have no idea. It's like he was turned off. A locked room, a victim with no cause of death. My head was already starting to ache. I turned my attention to the room itself. I walked the perimeter, my gaze sweeping over the silent equipment. Everything was off, powered down. The mixing board was a digital graveyard. I leaned over it, next to the still form of Elara Voss.
"What about the board's logs?" I asked Evans. "Checked it. Everything flatlined 12 hours ago. Perfect silence. Not a single decibel registered since." But my eyes caught something. One channel on the far right of the digital display. It wasn't flat. It was a single, impossibly perfect line. A pure, sustained sine wave. Its frequency was labeled at 200 kilohertz, far beyond the range of human hearing. But it was there. A single, unwavering note in a sea of absolute silence. It wasn't decaying, it wasn't fluctuating. It was a perfect, mathematical line held for eternity. Then I saw the second anomaly. The studio had a small triple-paned observation window, built to withstand immense pressure. I ran my glove over its surface. It was covered in a network of microscopic fractures, so fine they were almost invisible. They radiated outwards from the center, a spider web of broken physics. "This window," I said to Evans, "was it like this before?" She came over, peering at it. "No, I didn't even notice. It looks like it was hit by something with immense focused force." "Force from what?" "In a room designed to absorb all energy." I looked at the perfect sine wave, then at the fractured glass. A silent sound, a physical impact with no source. This wasn't a murder scene. It was a physics problem with a body in the middle of it. My only lead was to find someone who understood the kind of madness Elara Voss worked with. That led me to Lena Petrova, Thorne's former partner, and, according to industry gossip, his bitterest rival. I found her in a chaotic workshop across town, a place that was the polar opposite of Thorne's studio, filled with exposed wires, humming amplifiers, and the smell of hot solder. She was sharp, intense, with eyes that seemed to analyze the frequency of my voice as I spoke. When I told her Thorne was dead, she didn't show surprise. Only a flicker of something I couldn't name. Resignation? Vindication? "So, the Mad King is dead in his silent castle," she said, turning back to a complex wiring board. "I'm not surprised. He was chasing a ghost." "Tell me about the ghost, Miss Petrova." She let out a short, humorless laugh. "Elara wasn't interested in music anymore, Detective. He was interested in its opposite. He was obsessed with the primordial sound. Not the Big Bang, but the silence before it. He called it his symphony of silence." Her words sent a chill down my spine. How does one compose a symphony of silence? "With resonance and cancellation," she explained, her fingers dancing across the wires. "It's theoretical, mad science. You find the resonant frequency of every single particle of air, every quantum vibration in a sealed space. Then you broadcast the exact inverse frequency for every single one of them. A perfect anti-sound. If you could do it, you wouldn't just create silence. You would create a pocket of absolute vacuum, a true void where no energy, no vibration could exist. You'd be canceling reality itself on a local level." "He was building a device to do that?" He scoffed. "He bankrupted our partnership chasing it. I told him it was a suicide mission. The universe doesn't like a vacuum, Detective, especially not a perfect one. Poking a hole in reality like that, there's no telling how reality would push back." I left her workshop with the final piece of the puzzle rattling in my head. I went back to my office, the city lights painting shifting patterns on the walls. I pulled up the crime scene photos on my monitor. The body, the fractured glass, the single, perfect, unwavering sine wave. It wasn't a weapon. It was the performance.
Elara Voss, The genius composer had finally finished his masterpiece. He sealed himself in his silent room and activated his device. The impossibly sustained wave on his board wasn't a clue left behind. It was the composition itself. The sound of silence. The resonant frequency that canceled all other frequencies. He succeeded. He created his pocket of perfect nothingness. But he forgot one crucial detail. The human mind is a machine that runs on noise. It needs input. The faint hum of electricity, the whisper of your own blood in your ears, the constant chaotic dance of particles at the quantum level. Our brains are designed to interpret a world of constant vibration. When Aristotle submerged himself in a sea of absolute, total, perfect stillness, a void where no energy moved, his brain had nothing to process, no input, no signals, no reality to interpret. And so, like a machine starved of power, it simply shut down. A catastrophic failure caused by the most profound sensory deprivation imaginable. The fractured glass? That was reality pushing back, just as Lena had said. The pressure differential between a perfect, energy-less vacuum inside and the chaotic, energy-filled universe outside would have been immense. The glass, for one brief moment, was the only thing holding reality together. It buckled under the strain. He wasn't murdered. He was the composer, conductor, and sole audience member of his own final fatal performance. He had chased the perfect silence and found it. And in that perfect silence, there was nothing. Not even him. Every share is a new lead. Every like, a crack of light in the darkness. Subscribe to The Quantum Files. The next case is already waiting.